Hi everybody, my name is Silvia Acevedo and I am the author of God Awful Loser that you see right here. I am a journalist and a former reporter and anchor of the NBC station here in Milwaukee and at many other places. And so I have a lot of writing experience, but now instead of writing about real life events, I'm writing fiction. And I wrote this book, God Awful Loser, which is very, very fiction because this book is all about mythology. The technology that I use for my process ranges from my laptop here to as archaic a technology as pen and paper. These are for my notes so that I can remember 300 pages into my manuscript what the character was wearing or what the character looked like when I wrote that character into the book on page 3. All right, today I am working on the sequel for God Awful Loser. The sequel is called God Awful Thief. So God Awful Loser is mythology for teenagers. It's the story of Cupid, but not the little pink chubby cherub that you're probably thinking of. My Cupid is all grown up and stuck up and not very likable at first. He gets challenged for his throne by a mysterious love angel, and he in fact loses his crown. And exiled to earth, he finds that there are other fallen angels there, and he also finds a plot to overthrow Olympus. In God Awful Thief, he faces new challenges. The king of the gods has asked him to steal an item from another god. And so he has to enlist the help of some people with whom he'd rather not associate in order to get the job done. So I'm going to open up right now and my laptop, and actually what I have happening right now is kind of interesting. I'm a writer here who's going to show you that yeah, she made a pretty big mistake and she's going to go back and change some things. I don't write a detailed outline. I wish I did. I write a general outline, and I try to write to that point. And there always comes a point in every story where you have to experiment and decide if you're going to go this way or that way. And so I decided to try this way and wrote a couple chapters, and it just didn't work. It's hard for anyone to admit that the path that they first took isn't the right path. The only way you get better is to try something new to have an improvement. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So this chapter that I am going to delete is a fine chapter. There's nothing wrong with this chapter. It's 5, 6, 7 pages, something like that. And it's a lot of writing, and sometimes it hurts to get rid of all this writing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in another document and save it, and maybe some of it will show up a little later, maybe some of it won't. But for the betterment of my story, of my original story, this section has to go. So I just copied and pasted it over to a new document. I will save this new document, and I'll just call it a junk chapter. So I just got rid of chapter 20, so I'm going to start chapter 20 again. And I actually had written some of it in the office, in the doctor's office, waiting for the doctor to come. So I have some of it written down here. While I'm typing it from paper to computer, I'll do a little self-editing here. And the fun part here is trying it again. Let's see here. Pip began to lead us toward the castle. He was so pleased. The chance to lead the group at last. And a smug look crossed his face. A smirk. And the little mosquito couldn't help but boast. I just knew you'd ask us to come this way. Yes, I do hear my characters in voice. Pip piped up.